You've talked about your journey into, entrepreneurship. You've talked about you studying law. But now let's talk about Kajuju. When did you feel like it's picking up and things are now good, and also the money is sort of like coming through, and you're, I wouldn't say happy, but content?
Well, being content, I think I always felt content from the very start.
Okay.
Yes. Even just when it was just simple selling to just friends, relatives, I always felt content about it, just because I was passionate about it.
Right.
When it really pivoted, I think, was actually when I made the decision to go into it full time. There was actually a marked difference, honestly. So that was when I just finished pupillage. I was like, what next? I decided to go into it full time, and that's when we got our first major retailer.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So that was, a big change.
It was
for us.
Yes.
And I think maybe the next one after that was when we got into, an even larger retailer, which
Right.
was in 2021.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that was with Carrefour.
Yes.
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 And so that was a big change. But funny enough, of course, that was, a very, very exciting moment for us.
It definitely was.
Beyond
Yes.
anything that I had dreamed of, honestly.
Okay.
But funny enough, when I speak to people now, like fellow entrepreneurs who are trying to get into retail, and they want to get into these major retailers,
Right.
from the get-go. And, I just ask, have you thought of what it takes to be in those spaces? Because I remember, so, like, it takes a lot of, they have different ways of, they have different systems. So the first major difference is that, you're now selling to these retailers on credit.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you ready for someone to pay you after
A
30
period of time.
days, 60
Yes.
days,
Yes.
90 days? So like I said, what I really, really am grateful for now in hindsight is that I did it on such a small scale for the longest time.
Yeah.
Launched the business, launched the products, launched the customers on a really small scale.
Right. Right.
Until we were now ready for that moment. Because it's I think it's near impossible, or just very difficult, to go from zero into selling, in the biggest retailer
Absolutely.
in the country.
So yeah. I also want to get your thoughts on primarily what are some of the key things that sort of like kept you going, and that maybe people out here who want to become entrepreneurs do not expect is going to happen. What are some of those elements that were your driving force?
Oh, driving force. I think the impact of what our products was having. For me, just the feedback that we get from customers is what really, really drives me. For example, we'll get mothers who tell us that, I wasn't able to find any delicious snacks
Yeah.
that my kids could take to school.
Yes.
And this is what they now carry all the time.
Oh, that's dope.
Or even lactating mothers not being able to find any suitable snacks in the supermarket. That you want to go into a supermarket and be able to pronounce what is on the label.
That's true.
recognize.
That's true.
And that's what we're doing. Like, everything we use is probably ingredients that you have in your own kitchen.
Okay.
So when people come and tell us that, this is what I've been searching for everywhere and I couldn't find it, and now I finally found it, and it's made such a big difference for me.
Right.
I think that really inspires us to keep going. I think I also had such an amazing support system as well.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, like my aunties would be sharing in WhatsApp groups.
So much faith from them.
Exactly. Even when I didn't know what I was doing, my parents have just been so instrumental, honestly, in guiding me and supporting me when things really, really get tough. I think they're the ones who have really turned to, and they've just been so amazing about it. And of course, when I was starting, it just seemed like, okay, you've studied law.
Yeah,
we've taken you through.
I was actually
law
going to ask that
school,
question.
and
How for them they perceived it, but then they've been okay with that, even the transition. There's no form of resistance in any way.
No. Of course, your parents want the best for you.
That's true.
So, their concern might not seem encouraging at first, but it's just because they really care about you and just want the best for you.
Right.
So definitely, when I started, it was like, it was a hobby.
Yeah.
So it seemed like, okay, this is just a hobby you're doing on the side. You're still going to practice law. When I'd be going to the markets, every single weekend, my parents would come.
Oh, wow.
To the markets, wherever I'd be.
Yeah.
Wherever part of Nairobi I'd be, my parents would come to the market. And I remember other people who would be selling at the markets would be so surprised because they'd expect my parents to come and just pick products off the table. My parents would come and buy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and they don't tell you that they're coming from home?
No.
This is a massive surprise.
They just come surprise me and actually buy the products.
Okay.
And at times, like, sales were so low and I've only sold to my parents.
Oh, nice. Oh, my God. That's also a motivational factor.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes even when I couldn't go to the market, my mom would come and sell for me at the market. So they've just been so supportive. My dad bought me like the first food processor that I used. Let me use, the space at home. Because I was just cooking in their kitchen.
Exactly.
At all hours of the night. I don't even know how they used to sleep. And I'm just there blending things in the middle of the night.
It is so loud.
They've been so supportive. I think another thing that has really helped is every other person that I've met in this space is just so happy to share information share advice, what's worked for them. I mean, there are manufacturers who've let me, go to their factories and spend the entire day there just benchmarking.
Okay.
So I love that spirit that we have among us, like supporting us. There's enough space for us in this sector. And we're all trying to achieve, the same thing at the end of the day, which is improve people's livelihoods.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we conclude, what are some of the products that you have come up with and they're out here, we can purchase them? And of course, what's your target audience as well? Your target market?
Yes. So I think when I started, the audience that I was targeting, or the market I was targeting, was people who are experiencing the same thing as me.
Right.
People who are having, food intolerances or food allergies, avoiding dairy, gluten, nuts, or just avoiding very processed foods. That's how it started out at first.
Right.
But today, I'd like to think that our target market is everyone.
Yes.
Yes, regardless of whether you have an allergy, an intolerance. We aim for you to enjoy the product. So we have people who are just looking for a snack bar.
Yes.
They might not realize that, we've taken so much care to ensure that it has, the most natural ingredients, free of preservatives and all that. They just love the flavor.
Oh, wow.
They just love the taste.
Right.
Because healthy food, sometimes they get the rep of not being very tasty.
Yes.
You just think of very...
It's nasty stuff. As long as you're going to do something to your body, just eat them.
Yeah, but that's not how it should be. Like, eating healthy should be exciting.
True.
Like, it should taste just as good.
Okay.
So I love that that's what we're aiming for and that's what we're achieving. Everyone just loves the flavor, despite it just being so healthy.
Okay.
So we now have a range of breakfast cereals. So that's granola, muesli, clusters, which are ready to eat.
Okay.
With milk, yogurt, fruits.
Right.
We have a range of snacks. Those are snack bars. We have energy bites. So, like, for those, the main ingredient is like dates. We add nuts. We have some nut-free options as well.
Okay.
Oats. Just a really filling, healthy snack. Like, sometimes if I'm not able to have a meal for lunch, I can have that and I'm good.
Oh, wonderful.
Which I've heard from other people as well.
All right.
We have crackers as well, which are savory snacks.
Yes.
We have a range of plant-based burgers as well, and falafel, which are ready to cook. So those are frozen and they're ready to cook.
All right.
And we have a range of ice cream as well.
All right.
That's our newest product, which is dairy-free.
Fantastic. So where can we find you on your social so we can get to interact with you as well?
So everywhere on social, we're Healthy Kajuju.
Okay.
That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. We also have our website, which is healthykajuju.com,
Mm-hmm.
where you can learn more about what we are doing, our exciting journey.
You can get mentorship as well.
If you reach out, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm very, very happy to, make the journey easier for the next person.
Yeah.
And then our products are just in, retail outlets all over Kenya.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Kajuju Kyogoro. I wish we could have more time and discuss and go deep into your journey. Every year that you are there, every time, everything that you did, I wish we had more time, but I appreciate your time. And of course, wish you the very, very best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. In